Welcome to On the Chain.
So we got the wrath of Conman. He said, it seems there's an unannounced, not unnoticed, unannounced Ripple partner, Teledollar, that has extended its partnership with Ripple partner RIA, based in Costa Rica. They're also connected to Ripple users, Neum and Thunes. And then if we pull over this alliance, so it's really interesting. Yesterday we talked about some projects and we start seeing exactly how things, kind of move together, and this common theme, this common narrative of Ripple kind of is this in between, but all their partners seem to be coalescing, and it always seems to be around this theme of payments. And their theme of payments are fast, inexpensive, transparent. So all the different terminology that we normally hear. So if you go to this website, Alomento, what is it? Alomento.mx. It was actually in Spanish, but translated for everybody into English over here. But alliance with RIA expands offer of money transfers. And again, this is all about cross-border payments, all about moving money, all about utilizing XRPL and ODL as we move into the future, which is awesome. So much discussion, so much commentary on the transaction of cross-border payment. And where do we know, what do we hear, with RippleNet and Ripple, really their expansion all over the world it's a global dynamic right now. When we look at this new financial technology, and it's really tremendous. Now, as this all expands and we start seeing the utilization of XRPL, we see more recognition coming to the crypto space. And again, Ripple being on the forefront of the battle for clarity, which is really, really important. So here we go. Let's see what we got here. Teledollar, the leading company in international transfers in Costa Rica, expands its money transfer destination thanks to the strengthening of its alliance with RIA Money Transfer, thanks to which customers now have more options for their family remittance, and that's moving money cross border. RIA Money Transfer was also known only as RIA, is a subsidiary of Euronet Worldwide, one of the main European corporations dedicated to money transfer around the world. And you can see all this interconnectivity. It really is impressive to see, and then you find out, oh, this company, it was a partner of Ripple. This one, a partner of Ripple. Not saying they're utilizing XRPL, not saying they're utilizing ODL. However, as we start moving forward and you start seeing the rails coalescing together and all of the inner workings of the space, but you also see the significance and the pain point. And as we point this out, if we want to look at crypto as an overall solution or a pain nullifier, right? What is the major pain point on a global scale? That pain point is moving money. It's transacting money, whether it's foreign workers having to move money back to their home, whether it's small businesses trying to collect money from their consumers, where they can, avoid ridiculous fees, banking fees, or third-party fees, I should say. The bank notion, and as what I was saying earlier, I firmly believe that the idea of a bank will continue to exist. It existed, always existed, will always continue to exist. However, the interaction within that banking infrastructure is going to drastically change. And that's what we're starting to see. We're starting to see a solution to all of these pain points. And there's a lot of solutions that are building up and presenting themselves, which is really, really, really important. So EC2189 is saying, my homeland, their eco-minded Ripple suits us. There you go. So if you want efficient, quick, transparent money movement, then, hey, you know what? Maybe you should start using XRP. You don't even need to utilize the RippleNet. If you're a big financial institution, big business, then maybe you need that as a solution, but that's how it goes. So K-HUD is offered tonight. So appreciate you being here with us. Thank you. So that's it. That's very cool. So So this is the big question. This to me is the intersect. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where it becomes a real, or this is where the reality begins of this whole space. Will exchanges become banks? And in my opinion, I say yes. I truly firmly believe that the exchanges are becoming banks. The interaction and the transaction of assets can happen off chain. They can happen, or not off chain, offline, on chain, but offline, where they're transacting through a private peer to peer mechanism. Obviously, still recorded back to the blockchain, but it doesn't necessarily need, or we don't need the utilization of the bank to move money. Just like right now, we don't necessarily need banks to move our money. I can go and if I wanted to give money to somebody, I can get the cash and I can go give cash to somebody. But if I need to move it cross border, then I need to use a banking mechanism. Now, within the crypto space, if I have my personal wallet, I don't necessarily need the third party bank. However, I'm using a hardware wallet. Someone had to design the software. There had to be a mechanism in place in order for me that helped me facilitate that money movement. Now, at the same time, people want to earn interest. People want to take out loans. You want to get a mortgage. You want to go get a lease or a loan for a vehicle. You want to take out a business loan. There's all these elements. Now, the banking idea is changing. Now, years ago, they came up with an investment platform called Prosper, and that banking plat and this the platform called Prosper was a P2P lending solution where you can go on, have the third party of Prosper that helps facilitate everything. They had to go through in the U.S. state by state approvals to make it work. But the key behind all of that is that it was individuals loaning money to other individuals, but there was an interest paid and an interest earned. Now that's interesting because it's on a peer-to-peer basis, but there was a third party that was helping to facilitate all of this. So now, from an exchange perspective, if you want to earn interest, if you want to lend money, there all these mechanisms. You want to stake, then you're going to need a mechanism to help facilitate that, and then you also need to borrow. So whether it's from a peer-to-peer perspective, or if the banks are hedging risk, or if you're going to then put up your collateral, meaning you're going to stake your own asset and borrow against the asset and pay a percentage on the money borrowed, but you're actually paying yourself back with a percentage owed to the exchange or the bank. So that third party mechanism has to be there, but the mechanism, the way that we're all interacting with our money and interacting with these quote unquote banking infrastructure is drastically changing. You're not going to go to your brick and mortar and get a toaster oven. There was a time where banks would give you a toaster oven or give you some sort of a gift to move your money over to them. Right now, they can barely pay a 0.5% of interest, whereas some of these bigger exchanges are paying 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9% interest on the money. So that's a big deal. And that's the mechanism, and that's what's changing now. The notion of how that gets approved, um, that's going to be a different story. Now it's going to be a completely different banking relationship. And this always goes back to the conversation that we had when we had Alex Mashinsky on with us. Alex Mashinsky, obviously CEO of Celsius, had once said on the show, on the chain, you can go back and see it in one of the interviews that we've had with him. The Titans of yesterday will not be the Titans that appear and emerge from the ash heap of what we've all just gone through. So the banks and the banking infrastructure has, for the past 12, 13 plus years, been trying to hold on to the old brick and mortar notion. Now that whole notion is being dispelled, it's being destroyed, and it's being dismantled brick by brick as the blockchain begins to seep in and take over all of that mechanism, even on a peer-to-peer basis. So there you go. Really interesting stuff. So could talk about this all day, all night. It's so awesome.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.